Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, this is Jesse with the Common Nerd, bringing you pop culture and all things ready through a common sense lens. So if you've been watching our channel over the last couple of days, we've been talking about some of the stuff that's been going on with Roblox. Obviously, they banned a guy out there that was trying to track down a bunch of people that were doing very bad things and trying to prey on the youngest and most innocent among us out there, boys and girls. And obviously, a lot of that stuff got exposed. This is a guy that's worked with law enforcement, led to a lot of arrests out there. And of course, what did Roblox do? Well, they banned him, ladies and gentlemen, and this caused a lot of backlash. It caused a lot of controversy, set the internet on fire. A lot of people were very upset about it. And well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's not just backlash from all the social media folks out there. It's not just backlash from actual Roblox users out there. No, not only has one of their developers openly and publicly quit over Roblox's lack of protection for children, but now they are getting sued by the great state of Louisiana, boys and girls, for the exact same thing. And this is going to have a lot of bigger, far-reaching consequences than just some petition online calling for the CEO to resign and all of the backlash they've gotten online as well, because this Roblox is a behemoth of a company. And boys and girls, when you look at the stats of who actually ends up playing this by the majority of the ages out there, it will make you understand exactly why child safety should have always been a #1 priority over there at Roblox. It clearly is not. And now they're getting sued. And boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, it's a beautiful thing to see. Because as you can see over here at thatparkplace.com, Roblox responds to legal outcry and online disgust as Louisiana follows lawsuit. Billions of reports. Now, obviously, we've already gone over some of Roblox's response in the last video, but this article over here from That Park Place does an excellent job of breaking down the lawsuit from the Attorney General of the great state of Louisiana against Roblox, and the allegations are absolutely insane, boys and girls. And if there's this much nasty stuff still going on behind the scenes after 50 billion reports, according to Roblox, of course, so take that with a giant grain of salt, because just like every other major corporation out there, they are going to do their best to cover their own behind in this whole situation. But if those numbers are true, imagine how many are actually slipping through the cracks with these many arrests. One of those right in Louisiana's own backyard. So obviously that has made this very personal to the Attorney General. So we're going to check out this article from thatparkplace.com, getting all of the juicy details and see exactly what is going down. And of course, some of the consequences that could end up resulting for Roblox from this. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing. We just crossed 2,100. We're sailing our way towards 22. I think we're sitting at like 2,146, and I could not do that without every single one of you. Also, leave us a comment in the section down below. What do you think about all of this? Do you think Roblox will just be able to tie this all up and a bunch of legal stuff and pay a bunch of high-end up lawyers to making this go away? Or do you think the Attorney General of the state of Louisiana actually has a solid case here and can push forward to end up doing some major damage to Roblox and potentially even see the CEO resign in disgrace from this kind of amount of bad PR and press? What do you think is going to happen? Let us know what you think about all of that in the comment section down below. And if you'd like to support the channel, please check out the links in the description as well. All right, from our dear sweet WDW Pro, one of the most reliable scoopers out there, and thatparkplace.com, boys and girls. Things are looking a little more difficult for the makers of Roblox, the popular game at children, which has become not only a sandbox for imagination, but unfortunately for those looking to bring harm. Now Roblox is claiming they handled more than 1 billion reports of potential harm last year alone. And exactly what did you do with those billion reports? Because we've heard a lot of complaints about, well, the lackluster response to you responding to any of those reports. So exactly what was your handling? The state of Louisiana is now getting involved in protecting minors playing the game and sending a message to other video games. The newest legal action comes amidst outrage from consumers over Roblox banning and censor user Shep, who assisted law enforcement in arresting at least 6 dangerous individuals who may have been seeking to use the gaming platform to take advantage of kids. And this is what predators do. They go to places with children, right? Where they have easy access to kids, which is one of the major problems at Disney, right? You hear about that Florida sheriff down there all the time, busting child predators. What does he do out there? He ends up catching a bunch of Disney employees a lot of the time in the stings, right? Because this is where these predators will go, and places that have a majority of a place that is centered around children, a place that is catered to children, needs to have the biggest scrutiny when it comes to their background checks and their thoroughfares. Because guess what? Even Roblox themselves, background checks are so weak that they had somebody convicted of very bad things against children on their own team, boys and girls. That was one of the moderators and one of the people out there reviewing all of these reports. Yeah, how do you think that's going? Here's the announcement from the state of Louisiana. Today, Louisiana Attorney General Liz Murrill announced legal action against Roblox, the #1 gaming site for children and teens. The lawsuit brought in the 21st, well, I don't know why they have a th on the end of there. The lawsuit brought in the 21st Judicial District of Louisiana shows that through its online gaming service, Roblox has and continues to facilitate the distribution of inappropriate content aimed at children. Okay, now you'll notice there's an exclamation point over here. There's one of the little stars, an asterisk. There we go, asterisk, boys and girls. There's an asterisk on here, and you have to understand why. Because of places like YouTube, because of things like Google, which is what controls the ads for like 90% of internet websites out there, including thatparkplace.com, certain words that would be used explicitly in legal documents to express the whole totality of the heinous, just disturbing acts that are currently going on, that Roblox is currently allowed to be perpetuated on their platform, right? Illegal activities being allowed to be perpetuated on their platform. Well, those specific words out there throw up giant red flags in places like YouTube's algorithm and, of course, in your traction as your news website, as That Park Place explains down here. If you notice, boys and girls, there are certain words that we kind of skip over in some of these articles, or I'll use different ones in places. And sadly, until alternatives out there become a true competent and competitor as far as individual video platform and algorithms things are concerned out there, unfortunately, we still have to cater to YouTube and Google's limitations on things like that, as WDW Pro notes here in the article. Note, minor changes to some words have been changed in the Louisiana lawsuit, quote, to protect That Park Place from being flagged due to how bad some of these allegations are. We have denoted where we have adjusted phrases with an asterisk. Unfortunately, even when covering hard news, certain terms and phrases are very difficult to include in a news article due to algorithms reading those words and phrases as potentially being part of the site rather than the coverage of the site. As a result, phrases were changed to keep the exact meaning while preventing damages in search and AI results. And I've had one of those things. I've done several videos specifically covering the allegations from a lot of childhood stars against places like Nickelodeon and Disney and other Hollywood studios out there, right? A couple of them, after a manual review, I have been able to get through the algorithm and get them to be okay. There was one of them that I was not allowed to. And despite the lies, the flat out lies that YouTube says publicly and puts in all of their help stuff and everything else, if a video gets limited on monetization or gets any kind of restrictions on it, it will negatively impact its growth and your ability to see the video and have the information reach out to you. That is the reason why, unfortunately, we have to self-censor, because going over these topics, putting these words out there, letting you know about this stuff that is going on out in the world is the most important part. And unfortunately, in order to get past the censorship, in order to get into the algorithm and get these videos put out there, so you as parents or people who have friends that have children or relatives that have children can be very aware of the things that are going on inside of Roblox and why you have to watch your children on the internet at all times, and maybe, just maybe, decide to get them away from this, at least until Roblox changes its ways, or at least more highly scrutinize every single thing they do on this platform. Unfortunately, that's the censorship world we currently live ourselves in. So go out there and support the alternative platforms, boys and girls, because that is how you will get Google and YouTube to back off on their censorship, because they will literally see somebody else coming for their behind and coming for their market share. That's how you get things to change. So until that happens, this is the world we live in right now. Unfortunately, that's the way things go. But it still does allow us to get this information out to you, boys and girls. I just wanted you all to know that going forward, so that way I didn't get a bunch of comments in the section down below going, what's the asterisk for? Before we actually got to that section, we just go ahead and get to it right now. Which exploits Louisiana's children, knowingly and intentionally fails to implement basic safety controls to protect child users from predators, knowingly and intentionally fails to provide notice to parents and child users of its dangers. Due to Roblox's lack of safety protocols, it endangers the safety of the children of Louisiana. Roblox is overrun with harmful content and predators because it prioritizes user growth, revenue, and profits over child safety. Every parent should be aware of the clear and present danger posed to their children by Roblox so they can prevent the unthinkable from ever happening to their own home, said Attorney General Liz Murrill. Roblox is an interactive online gaming platform launched in 2006 that facilitates experiences for users. It allows and encourages users to communicate with each other in real time. But by the way, on your kids' accounts out there, you can turn that off so they can't communicate with anybody. There are nearly 82 million daily active users and more than 6.4 million experiences within the system. If you don't know anything about Roblox, it basically gives you the ability to go in there, use their platform, use their system to create your own game. And then you can share your game with the rest of the community out there. And you can even earn money by creating these games that are very interactive, that are very addicting, that a lot of people like to play them, specifically kids. It's kind of like if you remember the Mario creator back in the day, you could go out there and create your different levels out there and you could share them with the community. Exact same thing. Same concept, except at a gigantically much more massive scale over there on Roblox. The company reports, these are from the company themselves, their own numbers, 20% of users are under 9 years of age. 20% are 9 to 12. 16% are 13 to 16. 44% are 17 years of age or older. That means, boys and girls, the majority, over half of the players on Roblox are 16 or under. That means this is a game that specifically caters and facilitates children playing and interacting on it. Yet their own CEO said that child safety isn't that big of a priority for him and told parents if they don't like the measures that they've already implemented, simply don't allow your children to play the game. Kind of reminds you of that whole thing. If you don't like my politics, you don't need to buy my book. How did that work out for them in the comic book industry? How is that going to work out with Roblox, especially now that the state of Louisiana has sued them? And boys and girls, this is one of the examples of the complaints of these kind of games out there. After a year, Roblox bathroom simulator linked to not safe for work rings was removed, likely due to pressure. XYZ public bathroom simulator, after a year of complaints, they now finally have removed it. This is why people like Shep and others existed. Because there is no age minimum and requirements to verify age or parental permission once you sign up, users can easily say they are younger or older than their actual age, allowing children predators to pose as children and for children to bypass any age requirement. Once registered, users have access to millions of games such as sports, role-playing, naval, fashion, and comedy. Other games have existed on the platform, including Escape to the Island, Diddy Party, and Public Bathroom Simulator Vibe are not as innocent. Yeah, that one that took them a year of complaints to finally remove. Yeah, literally cited in the Louisiana statement. These games and others are filled with explicit content and simulated inappropriate activity. such as mass violation of children in terrible, illegal ways. Yep, bathroom simulator. Boy, I wonder why that developer left the program. Your request to leave the Roblox developer exchange program has been processed. We are sorry to see you go and appreciate the time and creativity you have shared with the Roblox community. You will no longer be able to access your DevX account. Any pending payouts will be processed according to our standard timelines. If you have any questions regarding this change or wish to inquire about rejoining the program in the future, please contact us and Roblox support for them. Twokit says, I have left the dev program. He says, walking away from a 6-figure annual income Roblox provided me was not an easy decision, but I cannot continue developing for a platform that fails to prioritize the safety of children. That's right. This guy was making a 6-figure salary creating games and implementing them on Roblox. And even he's like, nope, can't do it anymore. And I wonder why. A recent report even revealed that a group of 3,334 members openly traded illegal child content and solicited acts from minors. 3,334 openly did it. Weren't even trying to hide it. Anybody could walk right into the game and see what they were doing. That's what Roblox is allowing. Facebook figured out how to do this in their groups and their moderations. And yet, Roblox can't? Just last month in Livingston Parish, law enforcement officers executed a search warrant at the residence of an individual suspected of possessing illegal child content. At the time of the arrest, the suspect was actively using the online platform Roblox. They literally arrested him, busted in his door, ransacked his house, and he was playing Roblox in the middle of it. Notably, the individual was in possession of and had employed voice-altering technology designed to mimic the voice of a young female, allegedly for the purpose of luring and exploiting minor users of the platform. Oh, just because you think you can hear the voice of the person your kid's playing with online? You think it's okay? You think it's safe? Yeah, this is why microphones aren't allowed on my Xbox. For these and other reasons, Roblox is in violation of Louisiana law. The state is seeking permanent injunctive relief and prohibiting them from engaging in any activity in violation of Louisiana Unfair Trade Practices Act, representing that Roblox has adequate safety features, restitution to the state of Louisiana, attorney's fees, all additional civil penalties allowable under law, all additional damages allowable under law. This could cost Roblox millions of dollars. And yes, is millions of dollars even a drop in the bucket of Roblox what's profits every quarter? No. But the PR disaster that comes with this could be the problem, because guess what? Their investors will decide who's in charge of that company. And if this causes Roblox's share price to hit the toilet, yeah, investors kind of revolt when things like that happen. Shares of the Roblox Corporation have more than doubled this year and have advanced over 115% year to date. You can read their lawsuit here at that link. And this was one of those things, I remember when Roblox got announced, it going public, right? I get a little email from Robinhood every day that I like to read over, just kind of get a little brief glimpse of what's going on in the market, just kind of keep my ear into what's going on out there, right? And I knew one of my children went from Minecraft all of the time on the Xbox to Roblox. When they went public, I knew that thing was going to be huge. And I was right, because it's easy to tell. It wasn't rocket science to figure out. It's the hot new. My kid went from spending 2 or 3 hours playing Minecraft on a Saturday afternoon before he went outside and did things with his friends to 2 or 3 hours on Roblox. And Minecraft was now given over time. Minecraft is now seeped back in and they play a pretty equal balance of both. Now, all of my children do. But at the time, yeah, no, not so much. Not so much. And obviously we went over all the notes for all of this kind of stuff out here. And that's just, unfortunately, it's the way things go out there. So go support your alternatives, boys and girls. Go support your alternatives. At the same time that Louisiana is looking to take action, Roblox ignited controversy by banning vigilante creators who pose as minors to bait suspected criminals. After a YouTuber known as Schlepp posted a cease and desist letter he said came from Roblox, critics called for CEO David Brzezowski's resignation. A public fight for the plaintiffs now cite as evidence the company silences outside scrutiny rather than fixes safety gaps. Roblox counters that such vigilante activity creates an unsafe environment, normalizes harmful chat behaviors, and can delay proper reporting at the company and law enforcement. It says it reviewed more than 1 billion user reports last year and submitted 24,522 reports to the CMNC in 2024. The broader context is only intensified. Mainstream outlets have tied the vigilantes' bans and the Louisiana action to a single safety crisis engulfing the platform, with lawmakers and advocates pressing Roblox to prove its protections work for the roughly 111 million daily users, more than a third of whom are under 13, and more than over half of are under 16, boys and girls. And once again, despite all of Roblox claims, right, a game that was cited in Louisiana's lawsuit, it took them over a year. Took them over a year to ban it. And now one of the developers who is making 6 figures a year developing games and making things happen on Roblox has walked away because he knows this company is refusing to protect children. And now the great state of Louisiana has filed a lawsuit against them. And they are going to crush them into oblivion. And it's going to be absolutely hilarious. And I cannot wait to see. I absolutely cannot wait to see the kind of backlash that comes from them. I cannot wait to watch Roblox. Like, let's just for fun, real quick. This was completely and totally unplanned. But let's do it live. Let's do it live. As Bill O'Reilly so famously said, let's do it live. Let's see what Roblox stock is currently sitting at right now. What is it down over the last 5 days? Over the last month to a spike of 137.79. So let's just argue over the last 5 days is when all of this news has been coming out, right? So just over the last 5 days, they are down $13.21. Now, $13.21 doesn't probably sound like a lot to any of us out there. I mean, it'll barely get you an actual good value, quote unquote, value menu over there at McDonald's. But when you have $100 million, $500 million in Roblox stock, and that goes down 10%, how many millions of dollars did you just lose? Tens of millions, hundreds of millions, $100 million? How much did you just lose if you've got $500 million in Roblox stock because you're this huge investment firm? Or say you just have $1 million in Roblox stock because you're some big Wall Street cat out there. You've now lost $100,000. Poof, gone. Because Roblox didn't decide to implement the same safety measures that Facebook did like 10 years ago. How's that going to make you feel? As a parent, as somebody out there who doesn't have children but knows somebody with children. Maybe you got nieces and nephews. Maybe your best friend has kids. You know, whatever it is. You know somebody out there with children. Over half of the users are on Roblox are under 16. And Roblox knowingly, after handling supposedly 1 billion reports a year, could not shut down one game out there that had been getting complaints for over a year. There was another one openly trading illegal things openly inside of their game. And despite reports, Roblox did nothing to implement any further safety measures, to even ban or remove these games. And I mean, when you have a user base of over half your users are under 16, I don't know, here's a strange concept. Maybe just ban adult content across your entire platform. Facebook did it 10 years ago. And Roblox, you're telling me with the billions of dollars in revenue you pull down every year? It's just too much to protect the most innocent among us? Well, I guess that just shows you exactly what your priorities are. And well, ladies and gentlemen, as we've documented on this channel over the last few years extensively, when you dance with the devil, you are bound to get burned. When you get possessed by the spirit of the age and you do the devil's work, you will end up suffering the consequences for it. And at this point, just in the last 5 days, it has already cost Roblox hundreds of millions of dollars in their value. It's cost investors out there tens of millions of dollars. And now, ladies and gentlemen, they are getting sued by the great state of Louisiana's Attorney General. And this has only begun. The fallout for Roblox, you've only seen the tip of the iceberg, boys and girls. And whether or not this gets well and done in the algorithm or not, we will continue to cover this to see what happens. Because as a father of 6 kids and hopefully some more, and as the uncle to massive amounts of nieces and nephews out there, I have a huge stake in the protection of our children online. Because the excuse of just keep your kids off the internet is gone. Boys and girls, they require a set of headphones to send your kids to school as part of their school supplies now. Because they use computers, because they are online as part of the curriculum. There is no way of escaping it anymore. But just like what we've done with Hollywood, just like what we've done with the culture as a whole, when we make our voices heard as fans, and especially as parents, we can change the world, boys and girls. And that's exactly what we can do with Roblox as well. So make your voices heard, share this far and wide, and make sure that Roblox, after endangering our children knowingly and dancing with the devil in the pale moonlight, that they get the exact burn they deserve. Because after all, fans decide, not the mega corporations. Make your voices heard and make sure that Roblox gets exactly what they deserve. A big shout out to all of our subscribers and members out there. Thanks for watching, and make sure you guys like and subscribe if you have not already.